In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Boba Fett, based upon his appearance from the Empire Strikes Back in the Vintage Collection. So this particular action figure has seen a lot of releases over the years. As far as I know, it goes all the way back to the Fett Legacy pack that was released during the around time of the 30th anniversary collection, back around 2007. It subsequently has had so many releases over the years, and the TVC Boba Fett, this particular one, has seen maybe 4 or 5 releases now over the years. It's actually one of the very first TVC action figures that was released. It's VC number 9 actually. And this particular one you're looking at here is the re-release, or the repacked version, that has the photoreal tech with it. So I think this Boba's held up pretty well over the years. Of course, now that we have the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett to compare it to, which I'll do a comparison of it here in a little bit. A lot of people are questioning now if we need a new Empire Strikes Back Boba, and yes, I could understand why that might be the case, but at this point I am sick of getting Boba Fett in the line, and I think we're overdue for a new Jango Fett at this time. We only got the one Jango Fett in the TVC line, and that one's mostly a repack and a retool of the Fett Legacy pack Jango from 2007. So I think at this time, Jango Fett should get the priority more than Boba Fett. But maybe someday we can get an Empire Strikes Back Boba. There are enough differences between the Return of the Jedi version and this one to warrant another release. But we'll see. Knowing how Hasbro works, they are very unpredictable. So let's go ahead and just dive into this package here. Probably one of the most iconic cards from the Kenner line and the TVC line. Really like that image of Boba there. And like I said, it's VC09. And I do have the Death Star Gunner and the R2-D2 reviewed on the channel. I don't have that Crate Luke. It's really expensive. It's interesting how that ended up being. The Stormtrooper, I have lots of Stormtroopers viewed on the channel, but I will get around to the Rogue One Stormtrooper eventually, and that Chewbacca I do not have. So that's the card. Now let's dive into the figure. So like I said, this particular Boba Fett has seen a lot of releases over the years, and in regards to the TPC line, so he had the original, and then it also had a, I'm pretty sure it had a Revenge of the Jedi release, and then it also had another release that was utilizing the sculpt from the VOTC line back in 2004, and that one's a really good Boba Fett as well. I do have that sculpt of Boba Fett. I'm not sure if it's from that particular line. I think that one got lots of re-releases as well, and that one looks really nice. I think it still holds up pretty well to today's standards. Of course, now we have a definitive Boba Fett from Return of the Jedi, that is. So a lot of people might argue otherwise, but if you're looking for a good enough action figure, that Boba and even this one are good enough to have for any collection, quite frankly. So a lot of nice paint detailing in this, a lot of good sculpting work. A lot of nice weathering involved with this. It has the Wookiee braid here. Nice detailing in that. Armor looks good. So the big difference between the Empire Strikes Back version and the Return of the Jedi is mostly in the pouches here. The Return of the Jedi Boba, which I'll feature right here. As you can see, has slightly different belts. And of course, comparing the helmets side by side, yeah, I can understand why some people say it's time to retire this particular Boba Fett. Slight differences in the knee armor there. And of course the jetpacks are different. So as I mentioned, this particular Boba Fett is a re-release of the original, and the biggest difference is in the head sculpt there. Utilizes the face printing, which turned out pretty well on this. I've mentioned so many times before that oftentimes when Hasbro redoes an existing action figure with the face printing tech, it doesn't work out very well. The eyes are blotchy, it looks off, and it just doesn't look right in any way. But it turned out pretty well on my sample here. I'm really impressed. I think this particular sculpt of Boba is also one of the first to utilize a removable helmet. There are a lot of advocates out there to Boba not having a removable helmet, at least the original trilogy version, that is. Of course, now that we have the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, opinions probably changed on that. It does not have an adjustable rangefinder. So in terms of the articulation here, it does have a ball joint at the neck. It's a little restricted. You can't really move up and down so much. It's mostly side to side. He does have hinged shoulders, hinged elbows. Kind of restricted on this side because of that tube he has there, but it's not too big of a deal. He does have swivel gauntlets. Then technically a joint at the torso there, but heavily restricted because of his belt here and the jetpack, for instance. So it's mostly swiveled. He does have swivel hips, then hinged knees and hinged ankles as well. In terms of accessories, including the removable helmet, he does have a removable jetpack here. And this one fits into place really good. If you have the Fett Legacy Pack figure, you would know that the jetpack does not want to stay in very well, but not the case with this one. It's really nice. It does have the extra blaster here. Same one that we've gotten with so many Bobas over the years. And of course he has his signature blaster here. Has a lot of nice paint detailing on that. It has a nice wash. Lots of weathering. And it fits into his hands pretty well. So in addition to this bow, I will point out some differences between this one and the Fett Legacy Pack. As you can see, there are some pretty noticeable ones here. One of the biggest ones is this one's a lot more green compared to this one. And another big difference is his cape there is noticeably shorter on the TVC version over the Fett Legacy Pack version. This one almost drapes all the way down to his boot, actually. Well, this one goes just a little past his waist. And this one is a lot more frayed. It was like that when I bought it, and I think that was the style Hasbro was going for. This one's a lot smoother, as you can see there. Of course, this is the face sculpt on the original, which looks really good as well. I think Hasbro did a nice job on each of their samples. And the blaster is a little bit different on this. But some point I will review the Fett Legacy Pack, and you'll get a more in-depth review at that time. Other than that, I think that's all there is I can really tell you about Boba Fett here. He's a really nice action figure, and even though we have the Return of the Jedi Boba that is obviously the definitive looking Boba Fett at this time, I still really like this Empire Strikes Back version. Like I've said, I think he's good enough. And if you really want to have an Empire Strikes Back specific Boba for your collection, or maybe if by chances you find this one a lot cheaper compared to the Return of the Jedi version, I think you're fine going with him. I would recommend him for your collection. And even if you already have this one and not this one, I still would recommend him for your collection. If you could only have 2 Boba Fett's for your collection, those are the 2 to go with. They're really nice, and each has something unique about them that the other doesn't. It's held up very well for the past 16 years now at this point, at the time of this video. And of course, if you really want to have the Fett Legacy pack for your collection, which is a very nice set as well, you can't go wrong with having this Boba. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more reviews in the future. There will be plenty more to come. And if you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. That way you know when more videos get posted. And check out that Instagram link in the description as well. More content will be posted on that. And thanks for watching.